The question isn't whether women can run successful businesses. They already are. The real question is, what would our economy look like if more women were given the chance? We are the great stories, and today we're diving into why more women should be running businesses, not just for equality's sake, but because our global economy desperately needs what they bring to the table. Today we're diving into a topic that's not only relevant but crucial for our economic future: why more women should be running businesses. Now, before we get started, I want to clarify something. This isn't about pushing any agenda or suggesting women are somehow better than men at business. This is about looking at the data, examining the untapped potential, and understanding why greater gender diversity in business leadership benefits everyone, from employees to consumers, investors, and society at large. The numbers tell a compelling story. Despite making up roughly half the workforce, women remain significantly underrepresented in business leadership. According to recent statistics, women lead only about 33% of small businesses globally, and the numbers get even smaller when we look at Fortune 500 companies, where only around 10% have female CEOs. But here's the interesting part: businesses with women at the helm are showing remarkable results. So today we're exploring the reasons why more women should run businesses and the tangible benefits this brings to our economy and society. Let's start with what matters most in business: the bottom line. Multiple studies from McKinsey, Boston Consulting Group, and others have consistently shown that companies with gender diverse leadership teams outperform their less diverse counterparts financially. Companies with female CEOs and CFOs have produced superior stock price performance compared to the market average. And businesses founded by women deliver more than twice as much revenue per dollar invested than those founded by men. But why is this happening? There are several key factors. First, diverse leadership brings diverse perspectives. When leadership teams include people with different backgrounds and experiences, they're better equipped to understand diverse customer bases, identify blind spots, and develop innovative solutions to complex problems. Second, research shows that women leaders often excel at certain leadership qualities that are increasingly valued in today's business environment. Women tend to score higher on emotional intelligence metrics, which translates to better team management and employee engagement. Female leaders are often more collaborative and inclusive in their decision-making processes. Studies show women leaders are typically more likely to prioritize long-term sustainability over short-term gains. Third, women-led businesses often demonstrate stronger commitment to environmental, social, and governance (ESG) factors, which increasingly influence consumer choices and investor decisions. It's also worth noting that women represent a massive consumer market. Globally, women control about $31.8 trillion in consumer spending. Companies led by women may better understand and tap into this market, designing products and services that better meet women's needs and preferences. The economic case for more women running businesses extends far beyond individual company performance. The International Monetary Fund estimates that closing gender gaps in the labor market could increase GDP by an average of 35% in many countries. When we talk about economic recovery and growth, female entrepreneurship represents one of our greatest untapped resources. If women started and scaled businesses at the same rate as men, global GDP could increase by approximately $5 trillion. Yet despite these potential gains, women entrepreneurs face significant challenges. Access to capital remains a major barrier. In 2023, female founders received only about 2% of venture capital funding. Women often have less access to networks and mentorship opportunities. Many face unconscious biases in business environments. The burden of unpaid care work still falls disproportionately on women. These barriers don't just hold back individual women, they hold back entire economies. When talented entrepreneurs can't access the resources they need to start and scale businesses, we all lose out on the jobs, innovations, and economic growth those businesses would create. Beyond economic benefits, women-led businesses often create significant social impact. Research shows that women entrepreneurs are more likely to reinvest their profits back into their families and communities. The World Bank calls this the multiplier effect. When women earn more, communities benefit more. Female business leaders also tend to hire more women. This creates a virtuous cycle that helps address gender imbalances throughout the workforce, not just at the top. Women led businesses are often pioneers in implementing family friendly policies that benefit all employees. These include flexible work arrangements, parental leave, and childcare support. As more businesses adopt these practices, work cultures become more inclusive and supportive for everyone, regardless of gender. There's also an important role model effect. As more women succeed in business leadership, they inspire the next generation of female entrepreneurs and leaders. Young women and girls see what's possible and set their aspirations accordingly. This isn't just theory, we're seeing it play out in real time. In countries and regions where female entrepreneurship has been actively supported, we see more girls expressing interest in business careers. Perhaps one of the most compelling reasons we need more women running businesses is innovation. Women often identify different problems to solve and approach problem solving differently. Take healthcare, for example. Historically, medical research and product development have focused primarily on male bodies and experiences. Women entrepreneurs are now driving innovations in women's health technology, an area that had been largely overlooked despite representing a market worth billions. Or consider climate technology. Women led startups are at the forefront of developing sustainable solutions in areas like renewable energy, waste reduction, and sustainable agriculture. These businesses aren't just profitable, they're helping address some of our most pressing global challenges. The pattern is clear. When we have diverse business leaders, we get more diverse innovations. These innovations often address previously overlooked problems and serve previously underserved markets. Think about it this way. If the people identifying problems and developing solutions all have similar backgrounds and experiences, we end up with significant blind spots. When our business leaders better reflect the diversity of our world, those blind spots diminish and innovation flourishes. Now, let's address some common criticisms or questions that might arise when discussing this topic. Some might ask, if women led businesses perform so well, why haven't market forces naturally led to more women in leadership? This is where we need to distinguish between a perfect meritocracy and the reality we live in. Numerous studies have documented persistent biases and structural barriers that prevent talent from rising based solely on merit. These range from unconscious biases in hiring and promotion to unequal access to capital and networks. Others might wonder if pushing for more women in business leadership means lowering standards or implementing strict quotas. But that's not what successful diversity initiatives do. The goal isn't to promote people based on gender. It's to remove the barriers that have prevented qualified women from advancing. The most successful organizations don't lower their standards, they broaden their search and ensure their evaluation processes aren't inadvertently favoring certain groups. The result is a larger, more diverse talent pool from which to select the best leaders. So, what can be done to encourage and support more women in business leadership? Let's look at some practical approaches that are showing promise. At the policy level, ensuring equal access to education and skills training. Implementing family-friendly policies like affordable childcare and parental leave, creating targeted funding programs for women entrepreneurs, removing legal barriers that still exist in many countries. For investors, addressing bias in investment decisions, creating funds focused on women-led ventures, expanding networks to include more diverse founders. For businesses, implementing transparent promotion processes, offering mentorship and sponsorship programs, creating inclusive workplace cultures, setting measurable diversity goals. For aspiring women entrepreneurs and leaders, seek out mentors and build strong professional networks. Look for accelerators and incubators that focus on women founders. Don't be afraid to think big and pursue outside funding. Connect with other women entrepreneurs for support and advice. And for everyone watching, support women-owned businesses with your purchasing decisions. Challenge biases when you encounter them. Amplify women's voices and contributions in professional settings. Mentor and support the next generation of women leaders. As we wrap up today's discussion, let's remember that this isn't about women versus men in business. It's about creating economic systems and business environments where talent can thrive regardless of gender. The case for more women running businesses isn't based on ideology, it's based on data. Companies with diverse leadership perform better. Economies with higher female participation grow faster. And societies with greater gender equality tend to be more innovative, stable, and prosperous. We're at a pivotal moment in history, with technological changes reshaping industries and creating new opportunities. If we want to build a future of sustainable prosperity, we need all our talent at the table. Lastly, let's get into some research on the topic. Here are some organizations and their articles on the topic. 1. McKinsey and Company. Diversity Wins. How Inclusion Matters 2020. Companies in the top quartile for gender diversity on executive teams were 25% more likely to have above average profitability compared to companies in the fourth quartile. This report analyzed data from more than 1,000 large companies across 15 countries. 2. S&P Global. When Women Lead, Firms Win 2019. Firms with female CFOs generated $1.8 trillion more in gross profit than their sector average. Firms with female CEOs and CFOs demonstrated superior stock price performance compared to the market average. The study analyzed 6,000 companies over 17 years. 3. Boston Consulting Group and Mass Challenge, Why Women-Owned Startups Are a Better Bet, 2018. Startups founded by women deliver more than twice as much revenue per dollar invested, 78 cents, compared to those founded by men, 31 cents. The study examined data from 350 companies. 4. Credit Suisse Research Institute. The CS Gender 3000 2021. Companies with at least 30% women in management positions delivered higher returns on assets, better ESG performance, and higher dividend payouts than those with fewer women in leadership. 5. Harvard Business Review. Women score higher than men in most leadership skills, 2019. Women outscored men in 17 of 19 leadership capabilities, including taking initiative, resilience, and practicing self-development. Data came from 360-degree reviews of over 60,000 leaders. 6. Gallup, State of the American Manager Report. Teams led by female managers demonstrated higher engagement levels than those led by male managers. Female managers were more likely to provide regular feedback and recognition to employees. 7. Peterson Institute for International Economics. Is gender diversity profitable? 2016. Companies with at least 30% female leadership could add up to 6 percentage points to their net profit margins. The study analyzed results from 21,980 firms from 91 countries. 8. International Monetary Fund, IMF. Gender Diversity in Senior Positions and Firm Performance, 2018. Closing gender gaps in the labor market could increase GDP by an average of 35% across countries. Countries with the largest initial gaps have the most to gain. 9. McKinsey Global Institute, The Power of Parity 2015. If women participated in the economy identically to men, it would add up to $28 trillion, 26%, to annual global GDP by 2025. 10. Boston Consulting Group. Want to boost the global economy by $5 trillion? Support Women as Entrepreneurs 2019. If women and men participated equally as entrepreneurs, global GDP could rise by approximately 3 to 6%, boosting the global economy by $2.5 to $5 trillion. 11. PitchBook and National Venture Capital Association, Venture Monitor 2023. Female-founded companies received just 2.1% of all venture capital investment in 2022. All-women teams raised around $4.5 billion in 2022, compared to $154 billion raised by all-male teams. 12. Financial Alliance for Women, The Economics of Banking on Women, 2019. Women-owned SMEs face a $1.7 trillion funding gap globally. 13. World Bank Group, Female Entrepreneurship Resource Point. Women reinvest up to 90% of their income in their families and communities, compared to 35 to 40% for men. This multiplier effect creates significant social impact beyond direct business outcomes. 14. International Finance Corporation, IFC. Investing in Women, New Evidence for the Business Case, 2017. Women-owned businesses employ more women, 25 to 40% more than male-owned businesses. Women-led businesses implement more family-friendly workplace policies. 15. Kauffman Foundation. Women entrepreneurs are key to accelerating growth. Women entrepreneurs are more likely to identify unaddressed market needs and develop innovative solutions. 16. Harvard Business Review. How Diversity Can Drive Innovation, 2013. Companies with greater gender diversity were 45% more likely to report growth in market share and 70% more likely to capture new markets. 17. Morgan Stanley. The Growing Market Investors Are Missing, 2018. Multicultural and women-owned businesses represent a $4.4 trillion market opportunity. The report identified the funding gap for these businesses as more than an issue of bias. It is also a market inefficiency. 18. OECD. Gender Equality in Entrepreneurship, 2021. Women entrepreneurs face persistent barriers, including access to finance, networks, and time constraints due to care responsibilities. 19. Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, GEM. Women's Entrepreneurship Report, 2023. Despite progress, women's entrepreneurial activity remains lower than men's in nearly all economies studied. Fear of failure is 20% higher among women entrepreneurs compared to men. 20. International Labor Organization, ILO. Women in Business and Management, 2019. Women perform 76.2% of total unpaid care work globally, limiting time available for business activities. Over 70% of enterprises surveyed reported that gender diversity initiatives improve business outcomes. Before I sign off, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you're a woman in business, what challenges have you faced, and what support has been most valuable? If you're an investor or business leader, what strategies have you found effective for creating more inclusive environments? Thank you for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Until next time, bye.